So, of course, I haven't done anything, and I'm reworking on planning that 724-mile. Why do I even have headphones on? I don't know. That 724-mile journey. Now, the reason I'm angry, okay, so I've done a couple of live streams. One was on YouTube, another one was on TikTok. Now, what made me angry, and I don't do live streams that often, not authentic live streams in a while, because I just don't have time and I'm looking like this and everything. But what upset me was I did two separate live streams for TikTok. It would have just been one, but I was just like, I haven't live streamed, so let's practice and see what's going on. So the first one I did was just the audiobook that y'all saw, and I apologize. That audiobook was incredibly boring. The book actually itself is really good. I read it back in 2010, and I've made lots of references to it throughout the years. It's called The Art of Worldly Wisdom by Balthasar Gracian. And okay, I guess I could do this both here. So, anyways, the feeling today is angry, and the reason that the feeling is angry today is because of this. So I'm starting all over because I said I might as well record it somewhere else as well. But I don't live streaming things often because right now I'm looking like this. I have a lot going on. And if you know me like you know me, I just let it roll and let it be what it is because I'm just about doing what I need to do. So, um, so I recently did two live streams on TikTok. One was just, an audiobook listening, an audiobook that was in the public domain. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. It was an audiobook that was in the public domain, and the devil is busy, right? It's The Art of Worldly Wisdom by Balthasar Gracian. And I've talked about it a few times, referred to it a few times over some time. Now, and then some time passed, and I was just like, I was waiting for a video to render. So I was like, well, look, let me do something productive because I've never been good at just sitting still and doing absolutely nothing. So then after that happened, I said, well, let me go ahead and do some yoga. I need some exercise. And when you get this age, you really, really need the exercise for so many different reasons. It's not even funny, right? So I did that. And I looked dazed and confused because my glasses are broken. So I took my glasses off. And when I took my glasses off, I look like I'm blind, and I am blind. And instead of trying to focus and strain my eyes, I just let them go out of focus. And when you do that, you absolutely look psychotic. And I'm not, I tell you. So anyhow, what ends up happening is then after that, I decide, okay, that's over. And it was getting late, so I was like, I have just enough time to probably do my Be Like a Tree book over there. So when I went over to do my Be Like a Tree book, I'm so mad to do my Be Like a Tree book. Fine, run through it real quick, just the first workshop. And then I get a pop-up as I'm going through my book, which I am going through online through the actual raw draft material. And the coincidence about it is that when I was going through it online through the actual raw draft material, it was actually on a page where things were not even set up the way that it normally is set up. And I got a pop up that says, copyrighted material or whatever. And I'm just like, copyrighted where? And at first I didn't remember that I did the public domain, but that's public domain. The copyright goes off of that after so much time, and that's why it's in the public domain. And so I'm so angry. And what made me angry as I continued on, and this is why, that workbook is for me. What made me angry was that and today there were different things that, people were saying. I think they were trying to help, whatever. And when I say people, I mean an individual or two, right? So I was just like, well, I'm going to go sign in under something else and scroll in the background while I work. So as I'm doing that, I come across somebody's video, and they're doing exactly what I was talking about in my book about the tree and its roots growing downwards. And it made me mad because then, of course, I'm going to mention my book. So I hit request. And when I hit request, it immediately dropped me off. I'm so mad. So anyhow, welcome in, Walter. How are you? Good to see you. I'm supposed to be working on a 724-mile walk from Valdosta, Georgia to Hampton, Virginia. Now, I started working on this originally last December after I did my civic roundtable and all of that. But then things got hectic, and I stopped, and I was just like, I don't know if I really want to do all that because I just had so many things happening. And then this is when the Buddhist monks were going, and then I had other situations where just I saw other people that were doing walking journeys, and they were getting hit by cars and everything else. So I stopped that. So Walter, if you get a chance, if you're still here, you can hit the heart. But anyhow, back to what I was saying. So what ends up happening is, and TikTok can't hear me too good, but what ends up happening is that word for word, he's saying what I was saying. So then I think because I posted, because I was so like taken aback that they actually said that it was a copyright thing, and I thought they were trying to say my book, but I think what they were referring to was the public domain book. So that's one. And then now I'm seeing other people, because I posted that, they're saying, okay, it may be something. So they went ahead and they started posting about that, right? And then on top of that, going from there, so I tried to post a video about it in response to my thing that I put, but I couldn't because now my phone has all the memory is completely used up. So I'm a little bit disturbed, a little bit perturbed, frustrated. And I would go through my emotional chart right now because I probably need it. But I'm going to go back and plan this journey. And I don't know if I really want to or need to do this at this point, because I want to, because my mom is getting older. And so this is a piece with our history journey, and it all goes back to the roots. And, I want to see her, and she said it herself at least one time before, everything passes on. I would prefer her not to see me like this. Hey, boss mom. I would prefer for her not to see me like this. I'm double streaming if you're wondering who I'm talking to. I would prefer for her not to see me like this, but the thing is that, I would rather see her than not see her at all. But yeah, so yeah, welcome in. I'm trying to do a 724-mile walk. So yeah, so I'm really upset. I'm upset about that. I'm so upset about it. Yeah. But I'm gonna get over it. I'm gonna stay focused and just work on that. And I don't even know if it's gonna bear any fruit, because I've started this like 3 times already, and something's always come up in between it to kind of knock me off my game. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and get back to that. But that made me mad, because I'm just like, I just put that whole thing up there. And then TikTok gives me like some kind of copyright thing. I'm like, what you mean copyright? It's copyright on it because I copyrighted it because I published it in 2021. And then after that, I'm seeing somebody else post like word for word the same thing I said. And then, I'm like, okay, no hate. I didn't invent the wheel. That's the idea that's probably been floating around. I just packaged it a certain way. And when I went to request, I was immediately taken off. So that what that tells me is, again, they know where they got that information from. I'm just like, ooh. But I didn't even take a look to see who it was, so I don't know who it was. But anyways, I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to get back to work, because it's like almost 2 o'clock now, and it's what it is. So don't pay attention, don't pay no mind to, what I'm looking like. It's what it is. It is what it is. And that's the story that I have to tell. Sometimes, and this is what I was talking about, the roots. The roots grow down under the ground, and 80 to 90% of that growth takes place below the ground level. People don't see it. Everybody's so worried about what's above the ground, how the branches and the floral and all this is looking like above the ground. But the truth is, all the hard work and all the work that really matters takes place underground, where nobody sees it. You don't get no accolades. You put all that stuff together and bring it up so it can grow that firm trunk to bring out those branches that are reaching up to the sky. And the thing about it is, just like this with my parents, I really prefer not to be looking like this, but this is how I'm looking. And it's going to be looking like this for a while, for a few different reasons, and it don't take much. Throw some water on me and it'll look all right, but right now I just don't have, that's not where I am right now. So it's just, and then I was going to flat iron my hair yesterday because it's definitely that time. Hey, Carlia, it was definitely that time, but honey, we just gonna get this work done. So I'm gonna stay focused on that. But it's so much that can throw you off your game. But when you look at being thrown off your game, you have to look at the things that pull you off of your game. And some of those things that pull you off of your game is, again, pride, And for me, that's what it is. It's pride. Even though you're looking and you're saying, hey, it's nothing to be prideful of, but it's your work that you took time to put together, and then for you to get slapped in the face and for TikTok to say copyright, even though, and it's part of your own misunderstanding, I think they were talking about the art of worldly wisdom, but even so, that's still wrong because it's in public domain. That means the copyright is worn off of it. What are you talking about, And then for other people to just, ooh, I'm angry. I'm angry, but I'm gonna let it simmer down. And like I said, I don't even have time to do to do the chart for myself right now. So I'm gonna get back into it. For TikTok, this is going to be mostly a quiet stream because I'm supposed to be working on stuff. What you're looking at right now is me trying to plot out my path from Valdosta to Hampton, Virginia. I'm going to be looking at different stops along the way. I try to do 10 miles a day. I know I could do 20, but I don't know because I done gained some weight. I've become a double thickums now, so I've gained some weight. So I don't know if I can handle that. You know, I want to, and plus it's really hot, so I want to make sure that I'm being kind to myself with that. But 10 miles, I definitely can do, but I just need to make sure that I know the end point for each of those 10-mile segments. So 10 miles over 730 miles, that's a good almost 2.5 months or so. Is that yeah, about 2.5 months of walking. I can do it. I was scared to do it at first because, like I said, I've seen other people. The Buddhist monks got hit by a car, and the man lost his leg. There's some other guy that was going from the East Coast all the way to California, and he got hit too. And he has a whole car following behind him. So he's not doing it in nomadic style. He's doing it, corporate style. He has a car following behind him, and he got hit as well. So, but I don't know. I'm just gonna follow what God tells me to do. And this is like my third time starting this little journey thing. So if it keeps taking me off track, because I can't, I'm old now, I'm 50, I can't keep restarting and redoing and doing over things and doing it over and over and over again. So I'm gonna go ahead and get back to this. I'm gonna have my headphones on because I don't want TikTok, because TikTok on desktop or whatever, they're funny about all that. I don't want them to hear any music, whatever. So you can play your own music in the background. It's gonna be quiet. If you want to say hey, I'll say hey back. If you want to request up, you can do that too. I'm not a live streamer, especially on TikTok, and I haven't been doing anything probably for a few years, digitally or social media, anything. So just be patient with me is all I say. And you just being here is a prize and a gift because it's training me. And if ain't nobody here, it's still training me to sit in front of a sit in front of a screen. And I was saying before how, again, one of the things that I mentioned in one of the posts that I said was that, and I know this looks so hypocritical. You like, you talking about that, but look how you looking, girl. And I know, but it says that people have an opinion of you. They make an opinion of you within the first 7 seconds that they see you, and anything that you say or do after that doesn't matter because they're gonna try. They're not listening to you. They don't hear you. They're trying to, put you into whatever bucket they put you into that first 7 seconds that they saw you. So your appearance is important, but this is what I'm looking at. I come from the ground up, so hopefully we'll come up. But I'm so upset that I saw that. That really bothered me, and the response to it bothered me even more. But anyways, I love y'all. I'm hopping off of this one over here because I need to get back to work. Whew, my Lord.